Oh, I thought we were in a lobby. Hey, you guys, I'm really good at Guns of Icarus. I've played this game before. People say Nana's very quiet. That's a thing that's happened before.
Yes, we definitely did lots of mic checks before this started. Logic has not just woken up. That sound in his voice is not the grogginess of having just awakened from his slumbers. That's the sound of him being focused.
It's the sound of focus, yes.
So we just had a chip blast come in on Wolf's Teeth by CSM, and libGTK and the Skyborne were engaging one another. I should go over the ships where you sort out our various microphone problems. So, for the red team, which is, I believe, the Crimson Sky Riders, we have the Speciosa Mortem, which is piloted by Hillerton. It is is that a flagfish? No, it's a watcherfish with double side wings. And it's just got a kill on the Skyborne's goldfish. So we now have 4-2 here for the Crimson Sky Riders. In addition, we have the libGTK, a Pyramidion with a Gatling and a mortar with a side-mounted Banshee and a flare gun piloted by Luosi. And we're just waiting for our other two ships to spawn in. They're currently 4 down, which is always tough to come back with on Duel at Dawn. It's a close-range map where it's very possible to get into the opponent's spawn and brawl them there. We also have, for the Skyborne, the Wolf's Teeth, which is piloted by Wolf 1, a Watcherfish with side-mounted carronade and Gatling gun. And we have the Skyborne, which is piloted by Sunstrom. It is a Mobula with a top Hades, a Banshee on the left, a Artemis on the lower deck on the left, a Artemis on the lower deck on the right, and a Banshee on the top deck on the right. And we have contact between the Skyborne and the Speciosa Mortem. How are we doing on our various technical efforts there, Logic?
Assuming I understand how Twitch and OBS pick up sound, I think you should be louder. Although if my understanding of those is fundamentally flawed, then you're the same. So let's hope it's correct.
Right.
Yeah, so I don't know if anybody sees anything wrong or hears anything. If Nano needs to be louder, if anyone on the Twitch chat wants to...
the Skyborne are colliding with one another. That's not what they wanted. Yes, if you want me to be quieter, just tell Logic I'm loud, and if you want me to do louder, just Logic I'm quiet.
Hooray. Alright.
I would ask how you are, Logic, but I'm guessing tired.
Very tired. Well, you see... Well, we'll wait for the match to finish, I guess.
Well, at the moment, the Skyborne is facing a bit of the scenery. They've not got gun arcs. The Speciosa Mortem does have their Gatling arcs on them, stripping them. In addition, the Pyra is engaging the Wolf's Teeth. Managed to get the armor down. I'm getting reports in from my backup team here that I'm still very quiet, Logic. It's possible you don't know how those things interact. Oh, but a kill for Wolf's Teeth? They managed to force the ridership into the ribs there, get themselves a kill. Bit of damage done to the Skyborne though, but they're pummeling some Mortem. And down goes the Speciosa Mortem. That's another kill for the Skyborne, making it 4-2. Strong engagement from the Skyborne there. Good fight close to their spawn, managing to take out the Pyra and then focus down that goldfish.
I've decided to turn myself and all the other audio down in order to make you louder by comparison.
Oh, fantastic.
I think that's a good analogy for something. Communism, maybe? I don't know.
Am I apparently communist? Is this the problem?
In this state of mind, I don't want to make any accusations. I'll work out later. So
Right,
I'm gonna say no at this
point. It's
point.
entirely possible is that you've reported me to the U.S. government as a communist, and what's happening is I'm being filtered through the NSA, and so they're trying to listen to everything, and that's dampening it or something.
Well, to be fair, I have done that ages ago.
Darn it, I knew it. Like, how many times have I told you, if you're going to report me to national government, can it at least be GCA? They will have tea in their prisons.
Oh, there it is.
Skyborne
Yep.
getting their armor stripped a bit here.
That's not where they want to be.
But they've managed to duck a little bit out of combat there, and the LibGTK takes a nasty watch blast to the face. That'll take a few guns for a few seconds. Skyborne coming back up, trying to engage Osa Mortem. A few Gatling shots going into the balloon. Steve trying to get arcs, but bumping into the terrain instead. In comes Specios and Mortem. Oh, this could be unfortunate. They collide with the terrain, breaks their armor, but they don't take too much permahull damage. One's armor's down, and down they go.
Yeah, Crimson Skyriders are a combination of two really good teams. Yeah, Luosi, I guess this is actually what. Yeah, this is basically Crimson Skyriders. Luosi used to be the pilot for Crimson Skyriders back when he used to be in CSM. And then, of course, the Riders obviously have a long line of proving themselves to be competent. So, I mean, last match was a fight. It wasn't a shutout or anything. It was there was a fight going on. Yeah.
Good brawling going on there. You don't sound at all bitter about last week, Logic. You seem as though that's something you've accepted and moved on from, and are not at all angry about.
Well, you can laugh or you can cry, and that's all you can do. And I've been a bard for long enough that I am basically out of tears.
Fair enough.
Eventually, being in this clan, you lose tears. Yes, I will read out the riderships if I can remember the names of guns. Alright, so on the Agathusta... Oh, man. Flown by Hillerton, we have a Mobula, top Hades, on the wings, right side Artemis, left side Gatling, bottom wings, left side Artemis, right side Hades, or Banshee, and piloted by Luosi. It's a galleon, the Lib ATK. It is a galleon, I think I said that. A typical meta galleon, Hades, Flak, Lumberjack, Hwacha, Carronade.
And for the Skyborne, we have it by Wolf 1, the Wolf's Ease. It is a Mobula with the top deck being a Mercury, the lower decks being a Banshee and another Banshee, and the wings being Artemai. And we have the Skyborne, which is piloted by Sunstrom. It has a top deck Hades, the wings are Banshees, and the bottom deck are also Artemai. And a lot of fire going down on the Agathusia and on the Lib ATK there. A few decent hits on the Skyborne and the Wolfseas from what I've seen so far. And down goes the Skyborne's balloon. Always the risk with a modder. It's easy enough to get your balloon shot out, and then your engineers have to rush to get it back up again. Follow-up shots not landing though, so the Skyborne are able to recover, at least for a second.
Yeah, I'm not
So-
too. Oh, yeah, go ahead.
I was going to say, what do you make of the ship selections here? The modular is a nice thing to have when you're facing off against something like the Lib 80K there, but they are taking perma-hull hits on the Skyborne so far. So
Yeah, definitely. The thing is, and I'm not too familiar with the Skyborne. I don't really know anybody on that ship except for like Lentor and Sutterholm, because I mean Sutter's one of ours. So I don't know their crews or their pilot style. But I mean, like, ship-wise, Metamobula is pretty decent to take against galleons. The Merc Artemis combo is a bit iffy. The arcs, you're not going to have arcs as easily, but I mean, you can get the disables off with the Artemis on the galleon pretty consistently if you have your Artemises going. Yeah, the galleon is kind of a risky choice against the Mobulas, but I mean, it can work, and obviously it's working out all right for the riders here. The thing about the riders is that they don't always. I mean, it's not that they don't. Oh, what am I trying to say? They not only have consistent piloting, but their crewing is also on point. They land shots, and their engineering is. It's hard to find a chink in their armor, is all.
Logic, I keep telling you not to make me a main engineer, but you won't listen. So, I have to agree with you. I think only one of the rider's strengths. The other thing, as you pointed out, is the Mercury on the Wolf's Ease. It's always a risk to bring that against the lumberjack again, especially the lumberjack where you know that they're going to be competently equipped. Oh, Skyborne is in very bad shape. This Mobula is having to duck and dive all over the place, and one more hull break and a stiff breeze will probably end them. Seas has got the problem that if successfully lumberjack, they've got a lot of problems. The riders here have taken a very good position, because if they ever get into trouble, they can fall back behind a reasonable amount of cover. They've got fall if those Banshees burn their balloon out. The Skyborne are in slightly weaker position, I feel. They've got less places they can run to. If they do find themselves in trouble, they've got virtually nowhere to go except backwards.
Yeah, there's a few really good pieces of cover on this map, especially if you're a galleon, and that's one of them. The Skyborne are probably going to want to try and break that up if they can, but it's going to be difficult.
Well, this is interesting because the Skyborne is leaving Wolf's Ease on its own to go for what I think is a flank, which is potentially risky because there's enough firepower sitting over there with the Agathusia and the Lib 80K to do some substantial damage if they aren't able to get into the fight quickly enough.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, if they realize that it looks like the Skyborne's coming back in now, that wide... Yeah, that's the thing about wide flanks. If you're not able to get in there just quick enough... I mean, they're nice, but it's, yeah, they're just some really very impractical sometimes. But they can pay off really well.
Well, now they've got the problem that pretty much everyone on the Wolf Seas is having to fix things because their hull's broken, their balloon has taken hits. They're in full tank mode here. Landora by the hull and Soderholm by the balloon. Only James is firing at the Lib ADK. But this is I think it's a good idea for the Skyborne to split their ships a little bit, because where they were sitting so close together, it was possible for the Lib 80K to easily get that lumberjack turned on both of them. So if they were ever in difficulty, so long as they had that lumberjack, they could push at least one, maybe two engineers off their guns in quick succession.
Yeah, you always want to be able to make a galleon work, especially a sniper galleon. Like, when the sniper galleon can just sit back and do what it does best, you're in a bad position. Which, I mean, sometimes there's not even anything you can do to avoid that, so it's just the way it is, because just sniper galleons are...
That's something we learned very painfully against the Brotherhood, right? They brought a very well-crewed lumberjack... a galleon with a lumberjack, and we tried to approach it from one side, and where we weren't splitting their fire, they did a fantastic job of keeping us on the deck where we didn't want to be.
Oh, yes. Yeah, they were really good at that. That was a good match.
Oh, Skyborne appears to be moving in here, maybe trying to get some close range cover, but I think they're going to have problems. Their balloon is down. They're trying to back up. Their hull's at about 10%,
Yeah,
and
that's
they're
it.
down. Yep. So yeah, this engagement doesn't seem to be really going as well as the Skyborne might hope. I think that they're having trouble keeping their weapons on the targets they want to keep them on and getting everything engaged. So another reminder: this is has the same rules as far as the other SCSs when it comes to first kill being used to determine a tiebreak. So if this ends in a draw after the timer goes out, that will be another win for the Crimson Sky Riders. Oh, that's unfortunate. The Skyborne have skinned just as their ally goes down. They're engaging the Agathusia. They've got a few seconds before the ATK can get their guns on them, and they might be able to do some damage to the Agathusia here, put some fires out. Ram probably coming up, but now the Lib ATK has hearts. Agathusia taking damage. Oh, this is going to be close.
A risky play.
That's
will it pay off?
This one.
I mean, I guess it paid off as well as it could have.
It may even pay off to the tune of 2 kills here, because the Skyborne can duck underneath the ATK. The ATK is going to have a hard time running, although they're bottoming out. Oh, yeah. They go down.
Ugh. Yeah, that's the thing about Mobulas. Like, they can go in and they can do that, but they stuff
now
and things.
Another aggressive charge from Wool Seas, though. This is interesting.
Yeah, that's it's a bold play. You go in and just rush it like that, especially when there are 2 ships. That was an impressive kill. I mean, I guess it was more of a so you would officially classify that as a YOLO play. Hull break on the Lib ATK, and the Skyborne's in now. They might actually be able to kill Lib here.
Well, the virtue they've got here is that while Wolf Seas have Mercury, which means it's got to maintain arcs, the Skyborne can get the Hades in. So ATK is probably having to tank, although they are getting hit from behind by Agathusia. Oh, this could trade kills, or it could just end with the Wolf Seas getting taken out here.
Wolf Seas will limber down. Yeah, not looking great. So many shots.
Bad.
Yeah, and Lib ATK can probably
Banshee hits.
Tank through that.
So now we're in a situation again where the Skyborne really needs to kill the Lib ATK and then maybe regroup, because this is going to be unpleasant. Although actually the Skyborne are now 4 to 1? So yeah, this probably isn't going to end well for them.
Yeah, there's going to need to be a lot of dancing going on in order for... I don't think Lib ATK has their long-range side on them, so it's going to be up to Agathusia to finish them off, but Skyborne's just given up on retreating, yeah. That's not going to work. Oh well.
Still a bold play by the Skyborne there. That was a nice aggressive move that earned them a kill, so...
Yeah, all or nothing, I guess. It almost paid off, I guess. I mean, it was still... They got, yeah, it was okay. Well, they got a kill.
The question is, what could they have done after they spawned in? I think if the pairing we got here from way back when, you have to really search YouTube to find these two flying together like that. Well, looks like we're about to start here.
Alright, I'll take red team, I guess. Alright, we have the Spicosia Mortem. I'll have to ask Killerton how that's actually pronounced sometime. It is a Hwacha fish. Front gun Hwacha, port side Gatling gun, right side Gatling gun. Yeah. I almost said it has engines. That's how tired I am. I almost pointed out that the goldfish has engines.
And a balloon, Logic.
And a balloon. It's very important. All the best goldfish have balloons. We also have the Lib GTK, piloted by Luosi. It's a Metamidian, which alright, cool. Gat mortar, port side carronade, and a flare gun. It too has engines.
And for the Skyborne, we have the Wolf's Teeth, piloted by Wolf 1, a Watcherfish with side-mounted Gatlings and a carronade on the left.
Oh man.
And we also have the Victor Prime, a Spire, which is currently getting the ever-loving crap kicked out of it and is about to die.
Oh,
I will tell you what guns it has when it's not dead.
That's the thing about Metavidians, like, that's what they always are now. Like, a lot of people said, and by a lot of people I literally just mean Scrim, that they were good at ambush, and that's what they're best at. But now that's really what they're best at, because if you get caught with, like, in front of a Pyrrha and you're not ready, you're dead. Especially a meta. Yeah, and this meta Watcherfish combo is really brutal.
Yeah, well, I was gonna say you remarked on the meta from Luosi with a certain amount of, ooh, that's a surprise. Earlier in the week, he did kick the ever-loving crap out of me in it. I was flying the squid, and I think he's been working on getting folks in front of that ship and offing them much in the way you saw there.
It is actually really a funny change where you can say, oh, a Metavidian, that's different.
Indeed. So just a quick recap on the Spire, since while I was trying to describe it, it kind of got a wee bit killed. It is a Watcher Spire with a left Gatling, a front Gatling, and a right Gatling, a front Gatling, and a left mortar. So mostly for close range killing, although not if something gets behind it, apparently.
Yeah, that's the thing about Spires. I fly Spires most often, I think. Yeah, but if they don't get the first strike, you're dead, generally speaking, if you're up against a high DPS ship. Because they can out DPS basically everything, or at least this specific Spire build can. Like, I mean, this Spire build is a Metavidian plus a Hwacha and a second Gatling, so if it gets the first volley off, then it wins. But if it gets disabled and gets hit by the Pyrrha first, it's dead in the water, really.
Indeed. So this is about as close as you can be to defeat without actually being defeated here. Exterminated, just reminding us this is best of 3, and that the Crimson Skyriders have the advantage in terms of first kill. So I think we're going to see a little more conservative play from the Skyborne there, although having said that, Mobular last match was anything but conservative. Yeah, it's interesting you mentioned that about the Spire. I've been finding that that's something I've wanted to play with for a while, is how to get the maximum damage out of the Spire's first volley. Trying to optimize how much it can do. The Watcher is so devastating these days in terms of its ability to disable components, and you can almost get hull breaks with it. So it's difficult to know what the right sort of combinations of guns are to maximize your DPS.
I believe the build you're looking for is triple lock Gatling lock Hwacha. I think that would be the maximum possible DPS. I wonder what the damage on that would be. Like, not much, but I'm curious about the exact numbers.
Well, all you need to do is quadruple team the Watcher with a spanner and you'd be fine. I mean,
they wouldn't have a chance. Also, yeah, disables on the Spire. Lost 2 Gatling guns. They did get some disables on the Goldfish though, so that's good.
Well, that's always one of the interesting things about fighting a Spire is in a Goldfish, is that the Goldfish has one gun that you're really concerned with making sure stays up, whereas the Spire benefits a lot from having all of its guns active.
No! That's not where that Spire wants to be. You never want to put a Metavidian behind you. See, that's kind of a thing, and I don't mean to be insulting at all. These pilots today have definitely shown they can fly ships correctly, but with these newer pilots, you don't really understand how to fight Metavidians. maybe this is Sleepy Me talking because he's actually staying alive now. So maybe that was a better move than I thought. But no one flies Metamidians anymore, so no one knows how to fight them. They're like the secret weapon. But maybe I'm wrong because, like, I mean, everyone's alive. But generally, you'd never want to put a Metamidian behind you because it's almost certain death.
And there's a kill on the goldfish from the Victor Prime, which means I think Logic's going to have to eat some of his words here. And the Lib GTK is about to have a sad time being in front of the Spire, which is another place you don't want to be as a pilot.
Yeah, that actually, the writers weren't able to get, if, like, I was reading what they were trying to do there correctly, they weren't able to engage in the area that they wanted to. This area here was much better for the Spire and the Goldfish than it was for the red team. But I could be wrong. Also, I'm like half asleep. Like I was basically a zombie, and then I think Luosi called me on Skype. It might have just been a dream though. I don't know. I have no idea what woke me up.
It was actually the voices, Logic. Luosi isn't really a person. He's actually just a figment of your imagination.
Well,
yeah. This isn't really happening. You're not here. You're still asleep.
That's comforting.
Yeah, it means that the blood from the house pet that's currently in your mouth isn't a real thing either.
Oh dear.
I think it's interesting to say that we have pilots that maybe aren't completely sure how to engage a Metamidian. I'm not convinced. Here's why. Well, first of all, we should mention that the Speciosum Mortem is getting the crap kicked out of him, and the Spire is getting the crap kicked out of it. So this is an exchange of painful experiences. Down goes the Spire to the Lib GTK. It's one for Logic's theory that piloting against a meta is a lost art.
I mean, it was never really an art. Like, I mean, I don't know. Piras are weird. I don't like Piras. I don't know how to. I don't know. They're just weird
I
ships.
like Piras. I hate metas. I find metas incredibly boring. Although clearly there are things I don't understand about them because it's possible to fly them very effectively and outmaneuver a squid in them apparently, because that's what Blue did to me yesterday. But Wolf's Teeth having a very sad time, probably about to go down. Armor's broken, but they stay alive for a few more seconds. But yep, in comes another mortar hit.
Pretty decent engineering over there. They stayed alive a lot longer than I was expecting them to.
So here's where I think I agree with your Logic. I think you still get a ton of metas in pub games, but the problem is that most pilots aren't flying them. Most of the more experienced pilots aren't flying them these days. So you get used to, frankly, bad meta pilots, and they're comparatively easy to outmaneuver and keep out of the front guns from. Now, Lou is many things, but a bad meta pilot is probably not one of them.
Yeah, no, not at all. Yeah, the writers have a couple of decent meta pilots still. Like Lou, the Lib GTK is, I mean, one of the scariest peers in the sky still. I played with Arcgriel like a long time ago. I don't know, it was probably a month ago at this point or something. After the peer nerf, and he flew a Metamidian, and man, I mean, he just tore things apart. Like, things that should not have been able to be killed by Metamidian so easily, he just tore through them. So yeah, there still is, I guess, an audience, or I don't know, a small sect of people who are still able to play, make Metamidians work. But it's easy, but it's, I mean, they're still technically, I guess, easy ships. Like, it's simple, it's technically boring, but they're harder to make work because the Pira is garbage. Like, it just doesn't move. Although buffs on the meta, obviously, because the writers always have such good crewing, buffs are constantly up, so the buffed engines help.
I kind of feel like nowadays you need the buffed engines just because it turns like an absolute pig.
Yeah, I've been trying to fly Piras lately, although I actually haven't played for a few days. I accidentally fell back into Heroes of the Storm. but I've been trying to flip here. I apologize.
wait a second. Logic, pipe strats.
Oh boy, how exciting!
And by pipe strats, I mean Luosi is crashing into the walls here.
Very graceful.
After we refer to his pyro as the most terrifying thing in the skies, he decides to fly it into a mountain. I have a feeling that someone is just slipping him ways to embarrass us at this stage.
That's alright. It happens. Lord knows that I have killed myself on those pipes once or twice.
I tried to get a spire through there. I forget if it works or not.
I've done it. I think. Yeah, you have to like wedge yourself in between one of those gaps. It's difficult. And
we should tell our audience that it works anyway, just so that they try it and then crash, because we're terrible people.
Yeah, I'd be right then.
So at the moment we have the classic sort of situation where everyone is wandering about miles from one another. Scenario.
Yes, the canyon.
The LibGTK and yes. Yeah, of course the other thing you've got here as far as keeping up the buffs, the LibGTK is running the standard Metamidian loadout with three engineers, and those engineers buff engineer, we have a standard engineer for the bottom deck, but we also have a span buff. Zem is carrying span buff, so there's 2 buff fammers on that ship to make sure that everything stays nice and buffed, and there's probably timing being performed so that they can keep everything nice and shiny and gold.
Oh, we might get an engagement here soon.
And this is the point at which the time become a factor, isn't it? Because the Skyborne know they're going to have to get 3 kills in a very short period of time, because the riders have the Crimson Sky Riders have the first kill here.
Is possible. It looks like Spicosia Mortem is going to try and play bait here, so I'm getting a little bit of lag. Oh, my ping! Oh dear.
No, internet gods, please grant logic or bandwidth.
I think I'm gonna.
Yeah, that's
probably gonna stay connected, but the refresh rate isn't gonna be very quick. It's gonna be a bit of a slideshow, but that's okay.
Oh, this is not good for the Skyborne. Although they have managed to get some tables on the LibGTK, as you say, the Speciosa Mortem played bait there. Although they've wandered in front of the Victor Prime, this could end very badly for them. They've got 2 Gatlings going into them. They've lost a substantial chunk of their armor. It goes down, and they are killed.
And LibGTK has lost guns for a minute. Yeah, they could get 2 kills here. Now, even if they LibGTK is going to have guns any second, and yeah,
Victor Prime's going to try and hit
they're going to need those disables. Alright, they did get the gun disables, so that's good.
Yep, this is probably it for the meta, because it can't run. There's nowhere for it to go, and it's dead. So this is really interesting now. We've got a 6 minutes left on the clock, 4-4, and the advantage to the riders. The Skyborne are going to have to press towards their spawn, because the riders can easily evade them for those 6 minutes unless they attack really aggressively.
Yeah. See, I would like to see. I would also not like to see another match, because I could go like sleep. But I would like to see another match just for the sake of it. But with that meta chilling in the canyons like a shark in the deep dark depths of the water, it's really anybody's game here, because the spire can kill very fast. Oh, LibGTK spotted
Oh, this
They
could be interesting because Victor Prime might be able to get arcs here. LibGT can know they're spotted though.
Yeah,
Do they know where the enemy is?
If they can cut
here we go.
LibGTK off, this might be game, actually. Very
GTK is going to Hydra and try and get out of there. The spy's probably going to follow though.
Yeah,
Disables go down on the Victor though.
Yeah, Lib's gonna have arcs while Victor isn't gonna for a second.
But Victor's clever enough to go underneath. Might get a ram in here though. Oh, LibGTK turning to their blind side, and Victor has arcs maybe again. But they need that Watcher to hit, and they need to do some disables, and they get
Hollomer down, mortar going out. That's it.
Not quickly enough then. And that's it, folks. The Crimson Sky Riders have defeated the Skyborne 3-0.
Real good game. It's very difficult to even come close to outbrawling those two ships. They did really well.
Oh yeah, all credit to the Skyborne there. That's a tough pairing to be facing off against, and no one on the ridership